Hi, everyone. I miss you all. And I miss worshiping all of us together in a church, shaking hands, drinking coffee, joining our voices in song. I miss it all. And I know you do too. We're in the middle of a global pandemic that is spread by doing many of the things I just described. And that just doesn't seem fair. We've spent 4 months going through this already, and it might feel even longer than that. But we haven't stopped worshiping. God hasn't stopped loving us. We haven't stopped praying, reading, and encouraging one another in the Word. Many of you may have experienced other times in your life when you were unable to attend church regularly and enjoy the fellowship and encouragement of other believers. Maybe you were deployed in the military, spending a semester abroad, spending an extended time in the hospital or at home in recovery from an injury or an illness, rocking a baby in a nursery, or working a job that required you to go into work on Sunday mornings. I wish that I'd been able to make Sunday videos for you when you were in any of those situations. I wish that we had had Zoom Bible study available for you then. I wish that I'd been able to include your voice in readings. And I'm so grateful that we have the technological means to unite us now. Producing videos that are available to everyone and available to be shared with family and friends is my priority right now. Our mission to make disciples continues, even now. More people view those videos than come to outdoor worship. More people view those videos than come to outdoor communion. And I love and value outdoor worship and communion and plan to keep making plans for those events. But just because we do those events doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing videos or stop prioritizing them. I see the benefit of continuing to produce videos throughout the pandemic. It would be a challenge in terms of time and energy to produce videos and do those outdoor events weekly. One thing that would help for planning more in-person events would be having a task force to be able to focus on the important details of making in-person gatherings as safe as possible for as many people as possible. If you're willing and able to be a part of that task force, please send me a private message. I would need people who are going to be available almost every week, who take the pandemic seriously, and who are not at increased risk of getting seriously ill from the virus. Even if we make church as safe as possible, there will still be people unable to come or uncomfortable with coming, and their concerns are legitimate. The benefit of focusing a significant amount of my time and energy in making these videos is that these videos are accessible by all members and can be shared with family and friends. If I focused on making in-sanctuary worship, that would only reach a fraction of the congregation of those who would be available and comfortable to worship in those conditions. Our mission is still to make disciples and to spread God's word. As we keep offering outdoor options, some will continue to push for indoor worship as well. I hear you, and I understand you. We miss our church. We felt comfortable there. The world is uncertain right now, and worshiping in the sanctuary is familiar. I sent out a link to a document from the Synod headquarters. After studying this document, as well as other sources, it seems that in order to do in-sanctuary worship safely, we would need to sit apart, be masked, avoid singing, and skip fellowship time. It would be important to have a task force committed to being compliant with those recommendations. And even if we do that, there will be lots of people that do not join, either because they don't want to worship in that somber atmosphere, or because they have small children and don't feel they could reasonably attend church with those restrictions, or because they're at risk for having a severe version of the virus if they were to get it at church, which is still possible, even when taking all recommended precautions. It is important to me to continue to have a high-quality video to share with those people, even if we were to start offering in-church options. A few people have asked me to explain why I'm not doing what some other church is doing. I don't much like being asked to either conform to or critique what another pastor is doing. Each congregation is going to be making their own decisions. I'm not disparaging what other churches have decided to do. But the council and I are also not making our decisions based on what other people are doing. We're looking at science and recommendations as we regularly discuss options for the future. Thank you for listening. Thank you for praying for me and for our church and for each other. Thank you for being strong and patient through this pandemic. Of course we miss church. There are lots of things we miss right now. Our old way of life changed. We don't know how long this will last or what life will look like on the other side of this. But God never changes. God never fails us. God never leaves us. Remaining in Him and His Word will continue to strengthen us. There are weekly service videos, weekly Bible studies, monthly parenting gatherings, and frequent opportunities to get involved in the Sunday service. If you're a person who is missing church, I encourage you to try out more of those options that we currently have. If you're a person who would be able to be on a task force, please let me know. If you have prayer requests, please let me know. I'm still here. I still care. And Jesus will continue to be with us as He promised, even to the end of the age.